the epiphany moment, the haha moment, the special moment where you have this idea. What a great moment. I think this is one of the greatest moments, is when you have that idea, and not only do you have an idea, but you get that excitement, you get that fire, those tingly moments where you're like, oh my god, this is a great idea and I should pursue this idea. I'm sure that you all had this moment, but that moment is really, it's timeless in its moment, but it's not at the same time, because you can either just, live with that moment and be like, wow, I had a great idea, I had this great epiphany, this great thought of mine that might be something great. You can also consume that moment but not consume the idea. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is when you have those ideas, when you have those epiphanies coming through your mind, it could happen anytime. Could be while you're taking a shower, while you're in your car driving back home, or while you're working, when you're in your shop and you're working, and then you have that great idea. And I just had one, to be honest. And what I did is I rushed through my journal and I picked it up and I wrote it, and I wrote I didn't stop writing. I just kept on writing more and more, because I wanted to seize the moment that I had the idea, but I also wanted to really open up that idea and see what I didn't see when I first had the idea, and how it came in and why it should benefit me or someone else. And I wrote until I got tired, but it was until I kind of wrote down a plan in order to make my idea work. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm 110% sure that this idea will work, that I'll be able to profit that idea, to make a revenue out of that idea. And that's why I opened up the camera and I just grabbed the microphone. I'm just grabbing it with my hand because I didn't have time to set up. I just wanted to open up the camera and talk right away, because this happened to me so many times in my youth, where I had great ideas and I was consumed by the moment, but I did not consume the idea. So I'll just give you an example. At some point I was in a car with my friend and we're talking about how annoying it is when stuff fall in between your seat and the elbow rest, right? That compartment that's in the middle. Like, it's so annoying. Like, stuff always falls there. My phone falls there, my pen, if I have a pen, or whatever I'm holding, falls in there, and it's really hard to get it back. And most of the time we don't get it back. And also dirt, and if you're eating fries and a fry gets there, it's really hard to remove. You have to go to the car wash to remove it, and even that, they don't even remove everything that's there. And I'm like, there should be some sort of compartment that you can put in there, and if something falls, you just lift it and grab the stuff, and that's it. And that idea I got in 2007. It's now 2019. By 2010, I think that I went online randomly and I saw that product, and I was like, that was a facepalm moment. I was like, oh my god, I got this idea. It was a great moment for me to get the idea. I consumed the hell out of the moment and I was excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make money off of it. But I didn't do anything about it. I didn't write it anywhere. I didn't make a plan. I just let it go. And it happened again. It happened again around the same time. Around that time, I had a lot of ideas. It just kept on popping up. I had a ton of ideas, but it was mostly product related, and it wasn't service or business oriented like it is now. But I had a ton of product concepts and stuff. I really wanted to sell products, and I never did, to be honest with you. So another time, it was back in the days when the laptops were really bulky. It's not like today where they're slim, produce any heat, and they don't make any noise. It was back in the days when the laptops were huge, and obviously I'm just 30 years old, but the evolution of the laptop happened within 5 to 7 years. It was back in the days I bought myself an HP laptop. I remember it was as big as my body, and it was this thick, and it kept producing heat. Like, the heat was coming out from the bottom, from the battery, and the fan was absolutely horrible. So every time I would watch something and I would put the laptop on my bed or on the couch, it would heat up so bad that the laptop would turn off, because that's something that laptops used to do, and they still do. I think that if an electronic is too hot, it's just gonna shut down for prevention. So it kept shutting down on me, and then I thought to myself, I'm gonna make this like piece of plastic which doesn't retain heat, and I'm gonna put holes. The product in my head was like a V, and it was inclinated a bit, so like that I can watch stuff. And of course you can always move the screen up and down so you can level it to your eyes. And I had this great idea, and I went to see my friend. I'm like, hey, I think that's a great idea, and what do you think? He's like, that's amazing, I would buy it. He's like, this thing you can sell anywhere. At Walmart, you can sell it at all the stores, all the convenience store. Even you can make it for like 39 cents from China and sell it to Dollarama. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that we can do with that. And of course, same guy, same mentality. I consumed the moment. It was amazing. I already made money in my head. I was already a multi-millionaire. I was on magazines and you know, talking to people about my idea, but in reality I didn't do squat. And again, what happened? I went online and it was there. Actually, this time I was at Walmart, I remember, with my mom, and I was in the electronic space, and I remember seeing them. They were exactly like they were in my head. They had holes. They were some sort of plastic that doesn't retain heat. You can buy them flat or you can buy them inclinated, and you can actually adjust the inclination, which was amazing. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, I had this idea. She's like, so why didn't you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why we don't pursue and we don't do the stuff that we're supposed to. I don't know why we get excited over ideas but we don't do much about them. I decided to change my whole perspective, my whole discipline. I decided to change who I am in the past years. It's been literally 5 to 6 years of fighting with myself. Every time I have something in mind, I do it. I do it on the spot. I don't complain. I just do action. I'm tired of talking or brainstorming about, you know, different ideas, different stuff. I don't do that anymore. All I do is write stuff in my journal and actually do. Make a plan. So if you have an idea, all right, I'm talking to you who had the idea and you know it's gonna work. You know in your soul it's gonna work. If you have a feeling that it's gonna work, then I suggest you take those steps. Take a journal, write down the idea, write down how complex the idea could be, write down how hard it could be to actually make this product, make this service, to propose to the world what what you've thought of. Write it down. Write down why consumers should buy it. Write down what your marketing plan is going to be, marketing strategy. Write down all the stuff that you're going to propose to your customers. Is it going to be different colors? Is it going to be different fabric? Write down absolutely everything about this product. Pretend like you're talking to the bank. All right, that's the way I see it these days. Every time I have an idea, I pretend like I'm talking to the bank to pitch myself in order for them to give me money so I can make money. So write down a business plan that's really scrambled, that's just in your own words in a journal, but also in the last page of it, you have to write down tasks to do. You have to write down the goals and tasks in order for you to get to that point, in order for you to actually break down all the areas that you need in order for you to make money and generate revenue with that idea. With doing that, you are keeping yourself accountable. You are telling yourself that you had this idea and now is the time for you to work. And if you don't work, nothing is going to come out of it. And so you do the work. You start with small steps, start with small increments in order for you to get where you want to be. Promise yourself and do it, which is 1 hour a day I will work on this project. 1 hour a day I will break down what I have to do the next day, and I will make sure that this thing is done. Now on to the next one. And if you are stuck on one point, don't keep working on it for days on end. Ask for help or start working on the next step. If you're stuck on Facebook, if you're stuck on Instagram, you're stuck on marketing, you're stuck on talking to manufacturers up in China, then try to find another manufacturer, try to find something else. Because look, we get bored easily. Us human beings, we get bored really easily. So don't get bored. Try to venture yourself in different aspects of your product in order for you to make an amazing product. Try to talk to different people about your product. Don't tell them about your product per se. Talk to them about their field. What can you take out of their experience in order for you to fulfill that hunger that you have, and so you can make a better product and make a better service? You have to be able to talk to people, to network. Lastly, do not talk about your project. Don't talk about it to anyone. Not your wife, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your friends, not your family, not your mom, not your dad, no one. Why? Because there's something that happens in your head when you talk about something. When you talk about something, your brain thinks that you did it. It's a psychological thing. There have been studies about that, where if you talk about what you're gonna do or what you wanna do, chances that you do it are very slim, because your brain thinks that you already did it. So don't talk about it, because you don't keep yourself accountable if you talk about it. Instead, write it, a recipe, a formula that you wrote down, and you are accountable to yourself. And if you don't do anything, well, there's nothing that's going to come out of it. And therefore, you're going to work harder and be disciplined in order to reach that level of success that you want with that idea. So your idea became reality. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I'm trying to build a small little army of great entrepreneurs. Also, do not hesitate to write in the comment below, what do you do when you have an idea? Do you have a different approach? Let me know. Let's have a conversation. Until next time, guys. Ciao.